everyone, I hope you're all well. I thought of making this short video lesson because the RAC Center is closed, and this is actually a perfect time for you to do artwork at home. And so I chose some simple projects that you could do at home. You could either use clay like this that you usually use at RAC Center, or you could use self-hardening clay. So self-hardening clay, you don't have to fire it. You can just air dry it, and then you can paint with acrylic paint. If you'd like to make it shiny, you can actually coat it with the nail polish, the clear nail polish. With this clay, you need to fire this. Usually we fire it twice. So the first time you bisque fire it, then you glaze it, and then you refire it again to make it to this stage. But since the RAC Center is closed, I am suggesting you to make it to this stage, and then you dry it, and then carefully, once this is dried, at this bone dry stage, it changes color, and you can tell this is completely dried. Then you can use your paintbrush and then paint this with glaze very, very gently, because this at this stage it's very easy to break. That's why we bisque fire it. But if you could glaze it, there's no problem in firing this once. You could get the same effect as these, firing just once. The only issue is that it's very fragile, so you need to be very, very careful when you are glazing. So today I was thinking to show you how to make flowers, since the spring is coming and all the tree is blossoming. Well, it'll start blossoming. I see my cherry blossom tree started to bloom. I mean, I see the petal is coming out from the bud. So I wanted to do this flower project. And if you do this with your family, your father or mother or brother or sister, you could do this in a very short time. You can make 4 or 5 flowers in a few minutes. So, and it's very simple. I'll show you right now, okay? So first, all you need is a little bit of clay. You don't need too much, just a tiny bit. Then grab a tiny bit, pick a tiny bit like this, and then roll it between your palm. I would say, you could make it a big petal, small petal, but I would start off with like a 1/2 inch diameter ball. Once you make a ball, you put it on your hand, and then put your thumb to squish it, and then pull it a little bit this way, so you will have a little curve. And see how this is thinner and this is thicker? This is your petal, okay? So you will make 5 of them. 1, 2, 3. It's okay if it's a little bit different size, but I would aim to make the same size, similar size bowl. 4, and then I'm going to make this last one. Take your time, more time. When you're doing it at home, you can take your time. 5, right? So I have 5 petals here. See how thinner and thicker at the edge, this side, this edge. Oh, you're trying to build this flower by attaching the thinner part together. So I would scratch and attach, scratch thin part like this, and then stick it onto here, right? So I would scratch the back of this one, and then push it together to have it settle like this. So the third one, I would scratch this part, and then where this is sticking, make sure you do the scratch mark. I'm going to put a little bit of water. If you don't have slip, that's fine. Just water is fine. So, and then just push this together. That's the third one. The fourth one comes here. Scratch mark. Put a little water. That goes over here. So I will scratch here inside of this, and then push it together. I have 4. Now the fifth one goes here. I'll try to make a space for this big guy. Like that. And then just do this here. And kind of nestled in the fifth one. And then you push all this 5 petal together. So it'll create something like a flower shape, right? Now you need stamen and pistil inside of this. So in order to do that, I make 5 or 6 small coils. 1. Just make a little small coil like this, 2. Right? 3. That's 3. 4. Now you can take a look at the all the flowers on Google. You know, you can Google flowers and you'll see different kinds of flowers. Some have, you know, circular petals like this. The others have longer petal, larger ones like a tulip. And you can change the shape of this petal. After you do one and you want to make another one, you can change it, the shape, any shape you want, and make it bigger or smaller. You could even double the petals, like I did 5, but you could do 10 of them to make it fuller, bigger flower. All right, so I put all the stamens together, right? I chop this edge off so it's cleaner surface to touch. Then I scratch, and I scratch the middle part of this too. Scratch, scratch, scratch. And then I put a little bit of water and then push it in right in the middle of this. I'll show you inside here. See? And I spread each stamen like that. Okay, then this is gonna get really, really fragile. So I would have to be very careful. If it's too fragile to paint, I would wait. I mean, you could wait until the rayout center is open and we can bisque fire and then glaze it. But if you'd like to try glazing it before bisque firing, you can try that too. So this is the circular petal one. I'll teach you another one like this. That is when you basically need to do multiple pinch pots. So I'll start off with the largest one because that's the easiest one. So make a ball, small ball of about, I would say this is like a little bit less than an inch. And then you do like the same way as you do a pinch pot. You put your fingers inside this ball and then keep, it's like a driving wheel. Keep turning and pinching. This is how you make a pinch ball, right? But instead of making a ball, you can make a very thin disc. You could go like this, make it thinner, and bigger and bigger. So this will be the outer petal, right? And I'll make another one which is a little bit smaller than the last time. So I'll make it like a half, more of like a 1/2 inch diameter bowl. Then make this into a pinch pot. Very thin edge. You could have fun making the edge very wavy and very, very thin. See, like this, kind of wavy. This reminds me of like, you know, a poppy flower? This reminds me of a poppy flower. So when you're attaching this to the next layer, you always scratch the back of the second one. And then where it's attaching the middle of the first one, I'll make a scratch mark and then put a little bit of water and then push it in like that. So you have 2 petals done. You can always spread the first one out like this. The third one comes, it's a little smaller than a 1/2 inch, right? Diameter, like this. Then you push it, you drive a wheel, go round and round, 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 round to make a small, small, tiny pinch pot. Don't worry about getting, you know, if you start getting crack at the edge, that's also really nice. You know, in nature, if you see some flowers, the petals are splitting. Some of the petals are split at the edge. So that will look like a more realistic flower. So don't worry too much about making it perfect. Okay, so that's the third one. I did the third one. Maybe I'll do another one. Tiny one. Okay, the last one is a really, really tiny one. I make a small, small ball. And then the last disc is so small, like this. And then I'll do tiny scratch marks. Sometimes I just do just tiny indentation is enough. And then that's the last petal. Okay, like that. I will put a little bowls. I could make a little stamen, like maybe 2 or 3. 1, 2. The same small coil, and then 3 tiny coils. Okay, then make a little bit of indentation and put this together. Yeah, you could use the skewer to push it in. So that's another kind of flower. See, I made 2 flowers today. Then once this is, you know, fired and colored, glazed and everything, you can go outside and find a branch. I only found this one today in my studio, but you can find this really nice curvy ones or wavy. branches. Then you can decorate this branch with all the flowers that you made, like a flower arrangement, and this will look amazing. Amazing decoration at your home, right? So I hope you have a fun making flowers. Please share your work and we'll include it in the online exhibition at RAC Center.